Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, Sin were able to take down 2 members of the GPL squad before falling to the Gigabyte Marines, and now Legacy have to try and take down the first seed from the GPL. Before we get into our analysis of that last game and break down the next one, let's first toss it over towards Hingers, who's standing by with the support from Sin Rogue.
Hey guys, I'm here with Rogue, who's had a very big day. How are you feeling?
I can't say that I'm upset with that result. That's a pretty good result. Like, we took the 2 teams and, like, versing Gigabyte Marines was like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Those guys are insane, but it was a good day. Yeah,
I mean, for you guys, a team that came 3rd in the OPL last split to then be at an international tournament and facing a team that was at Worlds and doing quite well at Worlds last year. Like, I mean, what does that mean for you as a team and also the region?
Well, when we were on stage after we won the 2nd game, we were waiting to play Gigabyte. I just kind of said to Jules, I was like, hey, Jules, remember when we played that relegation that one time? And he was like, and then he just like looked at me across the desk. It was just like, how far we've come. Yeah. and then all the youngsters are just like, oh yeah, you pick up some young Asian talent, and all of a sudden like, so yeah, we've come a long way. I gotta say, it's a good story.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the other teams, Legacy are now in there taking on Gigabyte Marines. I mean, do you have any words of wisdom for them? They were able to see it because this is obviously. They're not going to watch this, but any words of wisdom for them, having just played Gigabyte Marines?
All right, well, Legacy are going to like travel forward in time and watch this. So like, I mean, they've revealed a few strats, they've revealed a few secrets. So like, the further they go on, the more they reveal. So like, if Legacy can't take it, Direwolves can take it, and it's like we stood a really good fight. Like we were ahead early. So like, if we're the 3rd place team, like what's our first? Like. Yeah. These guys they aren't anything crazy. There's something special, but like they're not in a different world.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, congratulations on the run today, and thank you for speaking to us. And yeah, let's go watch Legacy, shall we?
Thanks.
There you go. Just hearing from Rogue there. He's had a big day. Very happy with the result, and rightfully so.
Yeah, exactly as he should be. I mean, that is a great attitude to have. He pushed 2 teams that have been invited to this tournament. He's beaten them, and then he gets in, and for the first, 15, 16 minutes of that game, they were trading halves of the map. And I think FBI and Rogue especially should hold their head high. They had very good tournaments.
Yeah, no one had higher expectations for Sin than themselves, and I think, they would happily say they exceeded them. As Rogue said in his interview, they knocked off the 3rd seed. They even had a fantastic game 2nd seed. And then came, a little bit, toe and toe, came a bit ahead, had like advantages in the 3rd game too. So, really, really impressive performance.
And I think the big thing to take away from this is confidence, because if someone gets it done against Gigabyte Marines, which seems to be a big if because they look like a really good team at the moment, but they still have to go onto Summoner's Rift tomorrow and fix the error of their ways against USG. And that's getting ahead of themselves, but they need to, keep their nose to the grind and think this tournament isn't over for us. Our team in Oceania will be able to get us through this, and then we will return the favour tomorrow and take us up 1-0.
Well, we'll find out shortly if Legacy are able to take it to Gigabyte Marines, but before we get into that match, let's check in with Juice, who is also standing by with Fingers now.
Hey, T's here, and I've got Jubes with me, and a very busy day, a very big run for Sin. How you feeling?
I mean, we lost, but I'm happy. I'm really happy. Like, I literally watched MSI and became like fans of Gigabyte Marines, and then I got to verse Levi, who I think is insane. And like, that guy just comes out from behind you, and like, you literally feel like you're playing the game with a blindfold on because you don't know where he is. And like, I don't know, that was the most fun I've ever had playing League. Yeah. Like literally, and I got like stomped, but it was like just fun.
But then for you guys, I was saying this to Rogue, like for you guys to go a team that came 3rd in the OPL last split to then being at an international tournament and then in the semi-finals playing against Gigabyte Marines. I mean, what does that mean for you guys as a team?
I don't say it enough because like, I mean, like I get a lot of the hate, but like, no wait, just wait. No, you don't. I get a lot of hate, I do, for being trash. And like my team, but when we do well, I get a lot of the praise. I don't think my team gets like enough of the praise. Like Rogue's like insane. Like, Rama's like going to be best mid host. Dokla like pop like this tournament like I think no one can say like we miss players. Yeah. Because like Dokla was like insane in this tournament 1v5 and stuff, and even FBI like to go from like a solo queue player to like where we are now. Like if you told me a year ago we would be here, I'd just be like you smoking crack or what? No. But I don't know. Like I just love my team and like. I guess it goes to show our regions are not that far behind. Like we're 3rd place and we beat like Garena 2nd place. Yeah. So like. Everyone just like relax on the OC's trash bandwagon. All right, we're not that bad.
We're not that bad. A message for everyone watching. All right, so finally you're watching Legacy now take on Gigabyte Marines. You've just played this game, so what's your little advice for them?
I think just like treat them like they're humans. I think they have like a stigma because they like how well they did at MSI that they're unbeatable. But like I would like to think probably like the first 10 minutes we literally like we actually looked like we had a shot, and just playing them like. They have Levi is like exceptional and like Optimus is exceptional, but the rest of them are I would say exploitable, and I think like Legacy can actually think Legacy can win.
No.
Like I would be confident watching that match, thinking like Legacy have a chance.
All right. Well, I'll let you go backstage and catch all the action. And
Fire up, boys! Fire up!
Thank you, Juves. Back to you guys.
There you go, Juves. Just completely dogging his at the end of that interview, just walking away.
I'm going to say it again. This guy is really captain material. He says, you know, I get a lot of the hate, and then doesn't say anything else, and then praises his team for the rest of the interview. I mean, playing with Juves would honestly be a treat because he treats the 4 guys around him with like utter reverence, and like I think that's what a captain should do after such a fantastic day on Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, I think, you know, that is the beauty, the duality of Juves. We saw him last night, absolutely heartbroken. You know, he took that loss harder than anyone. And then, you know, you see him bounce around today, and he just looked like the happiest man on earth. And, you know, and he had a really good day. So, like, I don't think
That's what I was going to say. And he played better. Any other person would get up there and be like, the difference was like, yesterday I wasn't playing on point. Today I get up there. I absolutely like play better in the first 2 games, and we win those games. Instead, he's just like pushes all the praise onto the young guys. And yeah, I cannot speak highly enough of him.
Well, Sin gave it all they had against the Giants of Gigabyte Marines. Unfortunately, it was the GAM squad that came out ahead, and now they're about to take on the second place seed of Legacy. Let's bring up those 2 teams very quickly here. Legacy, second place seed from OPL, first place seed of the Gigabyte Marines. They don't get their rematch against Ascension, but I'm pretty sure they'll be hyped up for this game.
Yeah, no, this game should be pretty exciting. I think Gigabyte Marines, you know, haven't been tested too much so far, but you know, Legacy are probably a bit stronger than Sin. And you know, I think that Legacy probably had, you know, the last 24 hours to start working on some different tactics, you know, some new strategies, things that they've just seen Gigabyte Marines use in that game. That, you know, maybe they need to answer the split pusher, or, you know, maybe they need to shut down Levi. You know, they've got the more information, so they have the upper hand.
And the big thing is, we keep saying that Soul Strikes is sitting next to Shern, and we keep saying that maybe he's feeding Shern stuff, but at the same time, Shern's a really smart guy, and he's been sitting next to Soul Strikes the whole day. Soul Strikes will be feeding that through to both Leo as well as Carbon to be able to get their jungle pathing on point. The big thing behind Legacy is they have 3 jungle mains on their team.
They do.
They will put a lot of focus on shutting down the best player, arguably, in this tournament.
And another small point to touch on is a lot of the Oceanic junglers have not gone up against the likes of Levi or SOFM, but Carbon has. At IWCA last year, 2 years ago, he was able to play against SOFM, who was on the All-Star squad for GPI, and Levi should be familiar territory for the captain of Legacy to go up against. We can go through the bans that have come through already. These 2 teams already firing them out. Karma being banned out against Claire, as well as Cassiopeia and Galio from the Gigabyte Marines. Gragas, Thresh, and Zac hit the bench from Legacy. That leaves at least open again.
And this is familiar territory for Claire. We keep saying Ryoma is a master of lots of champions. Claire is a master of a couple, but he has been hit hard in this ban phase so far.
And look what's still on the table. We've been like badgering Carbon all tournament for his priority in Nunu that he's seen back home. They've left it up.
But does he go for the Elise now? Because Tom Kench is the first pick from Gigabyte Marines.
Kate Nunu. Just take it. Kate Nunu. Put Lulu mid. I don't care what you do. Run a protect the lost comp. He is such a good AD carry. And Nunu, I mean, he's very hard to kill. Oh, they've gone Varus. What the heck is going on?
So Lost actually, out of all the Oceanic AD carry plays, probably favors Caitlyn the least. I know he's a fantastic Xayah player, and he sort of hates Caitlyn because Caitlyn beats Xayah. So I think that, you know, probably, maybe, well, there it is.
There we go. Snowballs for days for the Legacy squad as that's locked in for Carbon.
Yeah, definitely an interesting choice, and I think that, you know, this can go one of 2 ways, really. I think maybe it catches Levi off guard, and it's something new that he maybe hasn't experienced. You know, other side of the coin, Levi might get a free jungle matchup. He locks in the Rex, or he hovers the Rek'Sai for the moment. And I think, you know, he might be pretty comfortable heading into this one.
Has anyone played a Nunu like Carbon, though? He doesn't take like movement speed quints like a lot of Nunus used to do. He doesn't take attack speed at all on his page. Takes 15 AD.
Are you building Carbon up or like putting him down at this point? I'm not sure.
No, Carbon's just learning from
He's
SWFM.
He's just a unique guy. And we've seen multiple times in the OPL that he chases someone down and just bops them in the head with those empowered auto attacks. And
yeah, no, a lot of people...
You can't invade as hard onto Carbon's Nunu is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Normally,
no,
Nunu is utility only. Early game, Carbon's Nunu still hits hard.
And a lot of people domestically have struggled to play against
Whoa! That's a Bard lock-in for Cupcake as well. Big smiles from the support main.
All right, Bard sucks in lane, so I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
he used to be really strong. Then all the meat slap nerfs and all the Q nerfs came through, and he's no longer a lane bully, so I actually don't know what is going on.
I mean, I think this is probably one of those hidden pocket picks. Maybe they've been preparing. Maybe they have something coming in the second rotation of bans and picks. So
Tally, maybe top lane bard, rapid fire cannon.
maybe not that extreme.
Beach. All right, cool. Just trying to follow your train of thought, Coach.
Yeah, no, just saying that I would wait to see, maybe how they round their comp out. Obviously, Nunu lacks a lot of engage, so they're supplementing it with long range engage of Bard.
That's a good point.
So we'll see.
Tom likes to stand on his 80 carry. Bard likes when support stand on top of their 80 carry.
Yep. I mean, for the ult and the Q, there are a lot of good interactions there. I think that the lane matchup, as you said, may be pretty difficult. Caitlyn, getting the majority of winning lanes and Tom being able to, combo in with the traps makes it pretty hard for any bot lane to come out ahead. But I guess, I think that Legacy are confident in this draft. Like, I don't think that they're going to, 1 to 3 pick a Bard if they haven't tried it or that they don't think it will be successful.
Oh, 100%. Lucio is very good at trying to scout out interesting avenues in drafts that lots of people would overlook at win conditions. Legacy trying to force Victor into Orianna mid lane right now. They would be happy with either end of it. Probably the last control mage off that they are really comfortable forcing domestically in the OPL.
They also force a strange top lane matchup because Renekton, Jarvan, and Kled, the 3 Black Cleaver Titanic Hydra users in the top lane, have been taken off the board.
Yep.
And that's with Gragas gone as well, so we should see
Tally
a
will
rumble
be happy
from one of
about
the
that.
sides.
Likes the Lucian into Kennen matchup, so if Optimus goes back, not Optimus, Archie goes back to Kennen here, Tally will pick Lucian into it.
Ooh, that'd be scary.
Yeah, I definitely see Lucian coming out here. And then, once again, they're going to be pretty thankful they have this Bard for engage. So big brain Lucio maybe coming up with the goods.
Biggest biceps, biggest brain in the OPL on Mate Soul Strikes.
But he does like to pick for lane, really, doesn't he? He's got very little cohesion around his team comp. I don't really know what it does yet. Maybe they go for a pure tank.
There it is.
No, they don't.
Instantly locked in for Tally. He gets the Lucian top.
I didn't know you could even lock champions in that fast. So he's confident,
He was
which is
ready.
which is good to see.
He's played it once in the OPL, lost. He didn't lose, however. I think it's very fair to point out, whilst that will show a L on his screen, he was very comfortable in the laning phase throughout.
Yep, absolutely.
We thought that might be the last time Soul Strikes gives him a priority pick, but he does get it again here today. Let's see if Archie saw this one coming, because you were right in predicting the control mage matchup mid lane. I don't think they were ready for the Lucian top.
No, I think, I actually think that both teams kind of knew what was coming out in draft. As soon as you ban away Thresh and Time's still available and, there's not really all that many answers unless you want to play a Braum or something into it. I mean, you're relatively happy with that bottom lane. I don't think they would have expected the Bard is the only thing, because they would have seen that Tally has played. You would hope that they've seen that last week Tally played Lucian into the top lane Kennen. And when you ban out so many mid laners early, the safe picks left, especially when you're going into Orianna, is going to be the Victor.
Yeah, and then when you start second phase banning the safe top laners as well, you're just going to automatically default to those control mages. And I think that Legacy got the better end of the bargain there. I personally much prefer the Orianna. I think she brings more to the team fight, and she can set a few things up. Whereas Victor kind of relies on his team
Definitely
to get the engage off and to get the fight going. Which Optimus should be pretty confident. For either his Tahm Kench to be ulting in behind, or even just for Levi to be going in and starting the fight.
And this is definitely going to be a very explosive bottom lane from Legacy. We know that Lost and Cupcake synergize very well together. They picked the Varus over Caitlyn. Let's see how they use it in the bottom lane against the
you have to think that's because they need to be all the engaged for the team.
Yeah.
They just recognize
All the
that,
disengage.
unfortunately, they need to be utility. They need to be the ones that start up the fight. They need to make it work in the 3-man unit, and we'll see if they can.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be playing a split push cannon, playing the map rotations with the Tahm Kench, you want more engage buttons. You want to be able to just start the fight as you see it coming.
But we are going on to Summoner's Rift for the 4th game today. And Legacy, they're going to be starting on the red side of the Rift here, Spawn. In the OPL, 100% loss rate on this side.
Bold call out of Tally as well.
Oh, no, not
Bold
skins.
call.
No.
If you bring up a skin, I'm
He's
really
about
upset.
to talk about skins. Ejim, get ready. Just about to walk off camera.
I think
Sub me in, coach.
I think everyone knows what I'm going to say. So
going
let's
for
just
Red
leave
Jacket?
it there. It wasn't Red Jacket.
Is it
It
not?
was Heartseeker, wasn't it?
Ah,
Okay, that is a garbage skin.
I like that skin.
Anyway, we see a pretty standard fan. Not too much action going on at level 1 for both of these teams. I think what's kind of interesting is that you would sort of expect Gigabyte Marines to continue this trend of going in for that early invade ward. You'd really want to get a track on the Nunu early, because his pathing can be a little bit unconventional. He can go buff to buff, he can go to your buff. Similar to maybe an Ivan, where he doesn't have those standard paths where he's going to look for an early gank top or something. He's generally more centered around control.
Certainly is. Just want to check into some Keystone Mastery. So we've got Bond of Stone being picked up on Carbon. That's definitely normal. Over on the side of Optimus, however, we've got Death by a Touch picked up for Victor. Means his trading in lane is better. Also means that he does not have as big a burst potential on someone like a Lost or Tally when he catches them out in the mid game. Yeah,
no, interesting choice. Obviously opting for a bit more control in lane. Doesn't have the battling summoner spell like Claire does, so you'd expect. Claire probably has the better in these all-ins, especially like 1 to 6 or at least at 6 maybe. So it'll be interesting to see how that matchup plays out. But sort of as we said, blue buff, Carbon's walked across his entire map and he's hitting his red buff.
And there were 2 defensive wards placed down by Gigabyte Marines on the top side entrances to the jungle, or Carbon's jungle to be specific. One at Raptor ramp, one at the Tribrush top lane. And our observers were showing that earlier to kind of just spot out to see if Carbon does invade towards Levi's side of the jungle. Tally's top side of the map, doing perfectly fine against Archie, pushing these waves in nice and early.
Yeah, just respecting, I think, the fact that, Tallywhacker will be able to push in pretty hard, and then Nunu can invade off the back of that. So, going for those early wards, and even Levi catching Scuttle now is pretty important. Tally gets a cheeky ward in. But, it's pretty important that they do try contest some of that top side vision, because they can push in top mid.
Yeah, and you can see that right now Levi has been scouted out. Carbon knows where he is. He's going to find him, and he's going to slap him.
Do you like being slapped, Levi? Because he does a lot of damage. He's still going to go toe-to-toe. Levi actually fighting back quite nicely. Pops a Prey Seeker down as well. Carbon's perfectly fine. He can
Carbon can eat it, and he's also got Smite. So he still has a lot of ways to get back health.
He smites and consumes 4 health, though, which means Levi can try and take this down. Tally's going to try and chase him away. Levi taking a lot of damage. No Smite, no Consume available for Carbon. This can be taken away, but Carbon gets it.
Yeah, he has to consume back on, and all of a sudden he flash snowballs, Archie.
Flash snowball engage. We're going to get a lot of these this game.
And my worst nightmare comes true. I see the Carbon flash snowball engage. As I said, I never wanted to hear that sentence again. Fish looks me right in the eye and sees my heart shatter.
Well, that's not the first one we're going to get this game, because there was quite a few Legacy matches where it was every single team fight flash snowball engage. I can't even say it anymore.
Yeah, but let's have a look at what happened, because now Archie, unfortunately, is in big trouble. The lane actually pushed against him. He came down, he did the right thing, although Tally gets stunned up.
Yeah,
and he actually needs to make this hit the turret. And it looks like Tally's just going to continue to try and grab it, try and muscle it around. Actually lets it hit now, but lost a lot of experience and a lot of creeps there, because Tally shoved in, then moved down, and Archie had to respond.
Tally just stood and delivered against Archie there, was not afraid of anyone.
Yeah, definitely knows the matchup well. Wasn't, afraid of anything that the 2 out of Gigabyte Marines were going to be able to do to him. Just took it to him, really.
It's a bad shot for Kennen as well. Doesn't go for a color or anything like that, because he knows that it's such a volatile lane. Comes back with a second Doran's Blade. And Carbon, very happy man, just running around. Has had a lot of presence at this stage.
He's got 77 AD.
Yeah, and we said that, one very, very important win condition for the Oceanic side may be, shutting down Levi early and stopping him from that snowball. And that's, Carbon's accelerating levels. Levi only just got up to 4, whereas Carbon's already halfway through that. And, he still has his Wolf Camp to clear. So Carbon, looking pretty good right now. We'll see how Levi can recover this, because if there's any jungler at this tournament who could, it's going to be him.
Certainly is, and we'll see what he's pathing. As you can see, he puts heavy priority onto the camps that have the most golden experience at this stage. Doesn't path towards top, even though that it is a volatile lane matchup.
I mean, at this point, Levi has to clear this Krug camp because it's still sitting at level 2, and if he leaves it up, it's actually just super inefficient. He needs to get that down so he can start clearing back to top side, and then he could actually start getting a level advantage.
Carbon, meanwhile, is able to take his second Raptor camp. Claire trying to zone out Optimus a little bit in this mid lane. He's gone back, picked up a Dark Seal for himself. Yep. Optimus still yet to shop. Burnt through all his potions.
Man, it's greedy play from Claire, because off the back end, he was also in a position where the wave was quite good for him. So he took that time and built that tempo, not to stack up the wave the way that Tally did, but was to actually get an extra shot in. And you can see that right now, not too far down in experience. And also with that Dark Seal, the elongated trade, not elongated, because that's not a word, actually goes towards Orianna, because she has the ability to be able to heal up a little bit more. Carbon Being a little bit fancy here, trading places with Levi.
He knows exactly where he is. Moves towards the Wolf Cam, gets double wards down. We'll be able to take
Double,
Gromp as well.
mate, there's 3 of them.
Woo.
Gets triple wards down.
Taking
Cheeky
Gromp
trinket.
away. Levi's going to walk over a couple, trying to get back here. And
They're actually going to collapse on him right now. You can see that Archie ping's on the way, and Levi knows exactly where he is.
yeah. Spots melt the Prey Seeker. No blast cone for Carbon to get over this, so he will take some damage at the very least. No collapse from the mid lane, but Carbon just says, all right, sure. I'll just walk towards this fruit plant and get all my health back. Thank you.
What a fun champion to play against if you're Levi at this stage. He's like, I have a very attacking jungler. Ooh, that's just to try and push the lane back out. I have a very attacking jungler. I've taken fervor. I'm going to actually try and do something here. And unfortunately, that is not the case. And you can see that with Optimus going back, he's now comfortable invading again onto the other side of the map. Might actually just start up a cheeky Drake.
This is the Carbon special. I actually can't. Like, I've forgotten the amount of times I've seen Carbon walk up and start, hitting a massive neutral by himself. This is definitely something that I think even Levi would struggle to read at this point, looking towards the mid lane instead of the Dragon.
Oh, he may now path down towards Dragon and finally spot out this
But
duo
no one else
doing
is
it.
here. I mean, even if he finds out, he's not going to outsmart him because it's a Nunu. And he's not going to go for the fight because Tally's cheated down. There's no one in his mid lane. There's no one in his bottom lane. Carbon has the tempo play there, and he picks it up for a neutral objective. Levi has the experience lead for now, but Carbon has his whole topside jungle that's respawning and should be able to path back up there and continue this advantage.
Yep, no, yeah, pretty good play on Carbon. I think after he gets complete control topside and he forces Levi to respond over there, and he has pressure from his solo laners, he just goes for that, fairly free objective.
Levi times it perfectly to get down to Krug camp and take that down as well.
Ooh, and actually he goes back bottom. This is interesting because he knows that Levi's taken his red, so there's no point starting top because he's not going to be able to invade. Instead, he's going to hand over blue. He's going to look to get his level 6 off maybe something like a Gromp. And then he might try and invade blue again because he still has Tally that should have the push. And Orianna now with blue buff should also maybe be able to shove in Optimus, although he has got an upgrade.
Yeah, interesting. I think both the junglers here probably need to try start getting some control in that topside river. Definitely going to be a contentious area for the buffs up there.
Optimus has just done Carbon a favor. He doesn't want to deal with any of those little chickens, just wants the big one. So not all that worried about it.
Very even game, though, between the OPL and the GPL squads.
Yeah, and this is maybe something we could have expected a little bit more. Sin, Mineski, Ascension, all quite fast-paced and aggressive teams, whereas we sort of had Legacy as that team that plays for a little bit later in the game, and they'll always draft themselves as an insurance policy. Obviously, in this case, they've got Nunu with 280 carries.
Who does it help? Are you saying that this is Legacy favored, or you think that GAM have the better team, like, not saying who can outplay each other, but who has a better team composition?
Carbon trying to hunt down Optimus there, gets the speed up from Claire.
I mean, in general senses, it's going to depend on how they want to play the fights. I think that Gigabyte Marines definitely have an incredibly strong front-to-back fight, and they do have that that pretty good threat from the cannon in the split once he starts getting some items. On the other side of the coin, double 80 carry and an Orianna is not something you want to laugh at, and we've seen Carbon in the OPL will always create these incredibly good dead zones that teams cannot jump through in fights because he'll just be sitting there channeling his ultimate. I mean, it just creates a wide distance between carries and any potential threats from the opposing team.
You can see that Levi actually wants to go towards a dive on the top side of the map. Knows that Carbon isn't there. Spots down to maybe try and get a Tremor Sense, and I see a green screen.
Yeah, we're inside the brush that Levi's currently in. We'll get out of that shortly after, as soon as he pops back up.
So Tally avoids that gank. Carbon now has cut him off.
But he just passed over, gets towards Rift Herald, makes him a bit angry. Claire trying to cut him off now. He's got a ball on top of Optimus, gets good damage, throws it back towards Levi. And look at this, Carbon just throwing snowball after snowball. Culling thrown out by Tally, gets good damage now. Ultimate comes out from Cupcake, forces 2 flashes, and the snowball goes for miles.
I mean, that should be Rift Herald picked up because all of a sudden they've got 2 flashes out. They're going to force them back. And a really weird roam out of Cupcake because he's lost a lot of pressure bottom lane has actually resulted in a okay objective. They will lose turret here.
Yeah, interesting decision-making, you'd have to say. Maybe hoping that they can capitalize a little bit more on the Bard ultimate and maybe grab 2 picks there. But Lost has done a pretty valiant effort of defending, and their turret won't fall just yet.
I mean, I didn't expect him to be there. Did you expect Cupcake to be there?
I was watching the mini-map and I didn't expect it.
Levi almost dies to Krug camp there. Legacy have to keep Caitlyn off this turret for a little bit longer so they can use Rift Herald to pick up first brick. Gigabyte Marines, though, they've got a slight gold lead from themselves. They're about 600 ahead.
And they know that they've scouted out the shop, so if they run Carbon in right now, and dropped Herald straight away, they would win this race. I don't know whether they're going to do it, however.
Seems like they're not.
Maybe going for the safer route and taking his Gromp. Not as fun, but maybe less risky.
Certainly less risky, because there's also the chance that
That's
they're
still-
just sitting in the brush and they pop out and kill the Raft Herald on you.
Every single lane is fairly even. There's a small discrepancy in the bottom lane for No Way and Lost, but in the jungle, Levi's 30 CS ahead of Carbon.
I mean, CS isn't everything in the jungle. You have to look at experience, and Carbon's the exact same experience as him. Carbon's just taking the solo camps, and Levi's taking chickens and Gromp at every opportunity. So, chicken and Krugs at every opportunity, sorry. So, as long as Carbon doesn't fall behind in experience and still provides utility, this is absolutely fine. You can see they're going to try and trade top side for bottom side.
Yep.
Already moving up the duo.
They're looking for a big flank bottom. No one is there. Bard's already shown himself top lane. Varus is moving up, and Carbon's walking down the river too. Archie's
Potentially
got
a
to back off.
2-for-1 trade as well, because they have Cupcake with the ulti that can potentially stun up Archie. Instead, they don't.
Legacy have to be careful, because historically, when they've lost first turret in a trade like this, they've lost way more than just one.
Yeah, but they're going to drop Rift Herald, you have to think, at some point.
Timecatch just going back to base.
No, they're
Everyone
not.
from Legacy go
They're
back.
just going to lose 2-for-1.
There's Rift Herald finally summoned. That's going to charge in and get good chunk damage here. So it should be a 2-for-2 trade. But let's see if Legacy can hold on to that.
Timecatch has already come down, as well as the fact that they've got Kennen and Victor. That is 100% not a 2-for-1, 2-for-2 trade. That is a 2-for-1, and Legacy fall behind.
Yeah, this always happens in Legacy. Even in the OPL, they just have not learned from this mistake.
Yeah, a little bit sad from Legacy. Maybe misjudging their damage spike. We see an engagement.
Yeah, they're trying to lock down the Timecatch. They pick up first blood in the mid lane for Claire. That opens up an attack mid.
Probably quite relieving for them.
Jason
we have another.
Levi. Carbon gets his ultimate interrupted. There goes the ultimate, but it won't lock down Levi. Just Carbon. He turns into a purple Nunu, but Lost gets a second kill for Legacy.
That's actually really nice play out of Legacy. They're turning the game a little bit on its head, trying to speed it up, and now they've caught out Optimus.
Flash snowball engage coming out from Carbon again. Optimus is trying to lock them down. His pulse goes. No more abilities to lock down the Victor any further.
Yeah, and they only have an air Drake really to go towards, because Optimus had already cleared out middle wave's minions. So that's actually good play out of their GPL's mid laner. Had to burn both summoner spells, but does come away fairly okay, because if he didn't do that, if he doesn't get access to the minion wave, they just shove it in and they look to take even more.
Yeah, absolutely. Sort of stabilizing and slowing down the tempo a little bit. We see the teams get the Dragon and reset here, and I'm kind of interested to know how they're gonna further push their top lane advantage right now, because Tally's sitting on his first item spike, and you feel he has to start punishing this Kennen pick, before Kennen starts catching up and maybe pulling ahead.
Tally's confident in this matchup, but it's just going even at the moment.
Yep.
And it seems like Tally would bring more damage to a fight later on, but a lot more control from Archie in the split push and in team fights.
I mean, Tally will be 100% a better team fighter on Lucian than what Kennen will be. He just has way higher mobility. But at the same time, you're exactly right. In the 1v1, Kennen has a stun and the ability to pump out consistent damage as soon as he picks up that frozen mallet. So it becomes a little bit of a coin flip in the actual 1v1 until, something like a QSS comes out.
And we haven't seen too much of this Bard, because focus of this game has not been bottom lane, but Lost and Cupcake has survived. They are 40 CS behind No Way, though. Is now the job of Bard just to look for these fights?
Yeah, it certainly is. He needs to create picks, because 40 CS is a pretty steep price to pay when you're playing against a Caitlyn lane. So he's fallen down. They went for a very greedy pick, in my opinion. So if they don't generate a pick off it...
They're on Archie bottom. Archie's going to die to this. Snowball throws out. Tally picks up a kill. Good gank from Carbon.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we said. Carbon needs to get busy.
Yeah, absolutely. The only sad thing is that their wave is so far behind them.
No, they're jumping on Cupcake, though. He's locked down. Throws out the Temper Fate. Will turn 2 into Golden Bubble. Shockwave only lands into No Way.
Needed to save that for the wave as well, most likely. In fact, actually, they don't go towards it. I thought that right there, that was going to be where the Gigabyte Marines started to siege up. They're going in behind Lost, however.
Looking to take him down. Levi putting in a couple of deep wards. Carbon is up here. Sia will take some damage at least. Seems like their objective is to take a red buff away. That's not going to happen.
Pretty good from Lost, just to let it reset there. Means that, Levi doesn't get it for free. It's obviously going to be regenerating health. And that lets Carbon get into the jungle, and then they have to back off. So, yeah, not bad. Obviously, also blew Timecatch's ultimate. Yeah, we're looking mid.
Yeah, we certainly should be, because all of a sudden, Sia as well as No Way are in trouble.
No Way barely flashes away from that final command attack. Sia, though. Sia, mate. Claire picks up a kill.
Yeah, and Claire's actually playing really well. And normally, as player that suffers from stage nerves has even publicly said that, you know, he feels he's a scrim player, definitely has fallen down in the past. This is looking pretty impressive out of Legacy's mid laner.
Yeah, and even better than that is that Tallywhack has collapsed on the mid lane and he's here to fight.
Optimus looking for a flank. He's not going to be able to get one against this team composition. Legacy pick up the equalizing turret, and they have a slight goal lead.
And now
himself.
with the movement speed comp, you know, the ability to dash forward, the bard that just flies around Summoner's Rift, collecting those meeps with the big ulti. They're actually in behind Archie. That's another... He reads the map really well. He's been caught out by the Nunu, but that's a fantastic read.
It's experience. I mean, he's been playing professionally since Season 1.
So many top laners die there. They're just like, oh, where did he come from? Thought they backed. But you can see that right now, they're trying to force that tempo. They're trying to use that bard that we keep going back to generate pick. Then with the Blood Boil and Tally dashing forward and moving around the map, they're looking to try and create some advantages. Air Drakes are actually pretty good for this team. Thought I would never say that about Air Drakes, but you know, with a Bard and with a Nunu, you want to, out of combat, be able to move around Summoner's Rift.
Please tell me the next one's another Air Drake. I hope so.
Triple Air Drake. I'll settle for 2. 2's enough.
Oh, I wish
Give me a fire.
I wish Bryce was on the desk right now because he can finally use zooming to an actual effect.
Yeah, Bryce's value is definitely his little advantage like zooming. Not the fact that he's a high tier support player and, you know, could give us a lot of insight on this Bard pick.
No.
But no, I think
it's
that,
not what he's here for, Jim. That's your job.
He would tell us that he is zooming right now. That is absolutely correct.
No, if Bryce was on his desk, he'd be pissed off that Cupcake is not Red Pants Bard. I tell you, that would be the first thing he tries to talk about right now.
No, he's gone the Christmas themes. Actually, Bryce would be very happy with Legacy because they've got Santa Claus, they've got Winter Wonderland Oriana, and they've got Winter Wonderland Bard. He would be absolutely stoked at that.
Yeah, I think Bryce would actually pay respect, you know, for the Skinergy or whatever people say.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Oh, we're corrupting you. You hate it so much as well that you have to talk about this right now.
I'm seething.
Carbon's looking for a gank bottom side of the map. Oh, no, there's a turret there. I don't know what the heck Carbon's trying to do right down here. He's just standing there at the moment.
They've kind of split the difference here, though, because now they're trying to hard commit bottom and they're trying to hard commit mid. Whilst at the same time, there are 2 people pushing top lane. So we'll see whether they actually get anything from this.
So they get a trade. Gigabyte Marines are caught on the wrong side of the map with their mid laner and jungler. Legacy get good chip damage on mid lane inner.
Double Air Drake, you know, doing wonders. Moving around the map faster than Gigabyte Marines can at the moment.
Yeah, and
pushing
we
bottom.
complement the ult that comes out of Tahm Kench, but Magical Journey's on a pretty low cooldown as well at this stage of the game, if it's being maxed out second, which it should be.
They're going to continue pushing. Archie taking a lot of damage. Shockwave knocks him back. Carbon does get stunned up, though, and Sia ults him just before he dies. Temper Fate from Cupcake a little bit lackluster there. Stops damage onto this turret. So Legacy not going to get anything out of this. They force Tally back topside to clear out the waves against both Optimus and Levi.
But they get the shove in mid too, so they're still denying experience and they're getting more pressure across the map as Tallywhacker catches that top lane. So, you know, you have to say, probably playing the map a little bit better, even if they're not executing that fight as well as they could have.
Yeah, and that was actually pretty close. I mean, if Carbon gets knocked out of that ulti half a second later, they actually pick up a kill there. So, was relatively good shockwave coming out of Claire just to catch him on the edge and bring him back to the middle. The ultimate out of Cupcake as well actually stopped Claire from taking a lot of damage, which meant that, you know, Levi, who was moving through the jungle, didn't want to go for a fight because he sees lots of high health bars. If Claire takes maybe 1-2 more turret shots off the back end of that, Levi is very happy to engage and they just continue to stream forward. So I think it was good use of the ulti out of Cupcake. There's nothing else that he wants to use it on for the meantime.
Yeah, and you know, it's already halfway expired on its cooldown, so it's not as though he's missing much. He'll be having that back soon. But, you know, thankfully, we've got a Mountain Drake, not a triple Air Drake. So the Nunu pick with its objective control paying off a little bit more right now.
And the rotations will become a little bit more efficient because you don't need to hit the turrets as many times to get them down. So all of a sudden, beating there by 1 or 2 auto attacks becomes more impactful.
And then you also have to say that, you know, this helps their Baron speed, which was already pretty fantastic with double 80 carry and
double block 80 carries as well.
Yep. So that's definitely going to be a threat.
Let's see what Legacy decide to do here. Gigabyte Marines are being run around the map at the moment. They probably don't like that. Legacy stream towards the mid lane. Archie's in a good flanking position at the moment.
He is, but he's 1,400 gold behind. I just caught sight of that. Now all of a sudden, Tally's moved this out to a 40 CS lead. See where the Archie can actually
Here goes
get
Levi.
in.
Big magical journey. Throws 3 Legacy members away from the Rex site and especially away from Archie.
And maybe this is just a little bit of Legacy know how to play with Bard. They've obviously practiced it. And it's one of those curveballs where it's not very good in lane, but maybe, just maybe, the speed, you know, the uniqueness of the champion catches you off guard. And when you throw Nunu and Bard into the same game, you should be creating chaos. And you can see that they've maybe caught out Archie.
Trying to. Lightning rushes away. Lost can't find the initiation. Tally could continue split pushing on the bottom side of the map, but he's gone back for a shot. Big pressure mid lane. Levi trying to catch out Carbon with the help of Sia. He acquired a taste, doesn't do anything, just throws snowballs at him.
That is so annoying! You feel
Thanks
like
for the red buff.
As a jungler, you're like, all right, this is good. We're timing our waves. I'm going to punish this jungler, and then you have dumb Santa Claus walking through and eating your red buff.
It just walks out. Doesn't use anything else.
Out of frustration, Levi comes back and he takes his drug camp.
Levi's like, I have 60 CS more than this clown. Why can't I take his red? I don't understand. It's not fair. He's got his locket though.
Carbon wants in again.
There they throw out Temper Fate. Doesn't connect. Splits the difference. In fact, Sia will get slowed up.
Still gets a
Cupcake
flash
takes a lot
bottom
of
lane.
damage.
Archie's in big trouble. Tally is starting to chase him down and really starting to punish this Kennen.
And you need to start questioning how a Legacy
They're on Baron.
going to respond to Baron is a better question than what I
Yeah, it
was going
certainly
to ask.
is. I mean, we were completely confused, but they're actually going to pick up Baron for free.
Let's see if they get it here because...
No, they've got it. It's done.
Oh, that's a 3. That's enough. Legacy just lost Baron just like that. We're looking at their player cams. That's gone now. I can't even see the reaction from Carbon when this falls because that's going to shock them.
Yeah, so now I guess their game plan has to start changing. You know, it was centered around how they're going to control it through split and moving around the map faster. You know, now they have to start being scared of the sieges that's going to come out of the Caitlyn, and you know how the Southeast Asian team are going to use you know, this Baron buff to you assume pretty good effect.
And you have to think that at this stage of the game, Lost matching Optimus' split push in one more level becomes suicide because he's going to be level 16, goes flash. Lost is level 12 at the moment. Even if he gets to level 13, 3 levels, plus the fact that Lost was punished hard in laning phase, Optimus will just one combo him. He'll flash on his head, he'll drop the ultimate, and there will be absolutely nothing that Lost can do. So they need to fix their lane assignments here pretty rapidly.
Yeah, and I think that's what you're seeing right now. So they've got the top wave pushed out, and Lost is moving back towards the mid lane.
So now, what do Gigabyte Marines get out of this Baron? They're already 2,000 gold ahead with that small objective play. They're moving 3 members towards bottom side of the map. Legacy are trying to continue pushing middle.
Yeah, they're quashing what you would assume is, you know, the threat still on Legacy, making sure that there's no sort of cheeky sort of 1v1 outplay that's happening just before they can start sieging.
Not only that, they got control of the blue side jungle, so at the same time, they're trying to cut off mid lane.
Sia eats up the Rek'Sai. Flash, snowball, engage. For the 3rd time this game, they lock down the Tahm Kench. Good damage coming out on towards him. Sia has to pop that great health. Tally's here, though. Get a kill onto the Gigabyte Marine support. Let's see what they go for next.
And, you know, they're instantly getting in that bar tone. You know, they are prepared with this pick, and they're showing that, you know, we question it a little bit in draft, you know, why they're taking it, what does it offer, but they are very rehearsed on it, and they are pretty practiced. That was a very, very, like, swift pick, starting to, you know, slow down the Gigabyte Marines who are just starting to accelerating this game. And, you know, pretty good work from Legacy.
They just took a lot of damage there, however, just from the laser. But you can see they're already up there into the top lane. Multiple members going to be moving in. Carbon is streaming forward. He's the quickest Nunu on Summoner's Rift.
There's the Temper Phase just going to sit there, throw a couple of snowballs at men. Oh, they juked him. He threw it at a minion. That's not the right target. Throws out the shockwave there. Will knock him back, picking up another kill. Tally, meanwhile, bottom lane, he's in trouble. Knocked down by 2 members of the Marines.
And you can see this is a roaming kill squad, and the Marines, they're actually not falling for the bait. They pick on the other side of the map. They grab mid lane turret. And once again, against the flow, 2 members died, but the Marines still are getting advantages.
Yep. And they're 2,500 gold in the lead over the OPL team at the moment.
Still sitting about a quarter left in Baron, so they might get one cheeky little look in off this base if they choose to go through with it. But you'd have to expect that that's probably all of the swing they'll take from that Baron.
1,900 of that gold lead is in the bottom lane for No Way.
Yep.
Rest of the map going in Legacy's favor.
Yeah, and importantly, he's hit that in like that massive 3-item spike. So,
and I hate saying this, but because crit's so important at the moment, but for Varus, it's not really. So Carbon makes up a portion of that deficit. So even though they fell like, what is it, still 70 CS behind or something along those lines, and there is 2,000-ish, if he's maxed out Blood Boil, which he should have at this stage of the game.
Nope,
that was one level.
Doing it last. Oof, that's a little bit rough. So he doesn't make up a big portion. But as soon as that Blood Boil gets maxed out, that's the attack speed equivalent of the Zeal, not the crit portion, obviously. Also gives really good movement speed.
Yeah, no, obviously, maybe picking their AD carry and adjusting around a little bit.
Legacy might look for a pick here. Optimus has shown bottom, no way for him to get to his team fight. Legacy have a numbers advantage, they don't.
They're
Dragon's coming up.
1-3-1 with the Victor, like a lot. This is a strange call, in my opinion, out of the...
They're picking Archie. They want him. Levi's also caught in the jungle as well. There's the culling coming out. Archie's forced a lightning rush away. Does have his ultimate available. They caught out Levi during the meantime. Lost Sinclair, make short work of him. Optimus is on the inhibitor turret with a Tahm Kench and nowhere. They're looking for inhibitors. They've already got 2 kills to Gigabyte Marines, but what are they going to lose for this?
So yeah, you say it's like a questionable choice to have that Victor in the side lane, but with the threat of the Tahm Kench, I feel as though he always is going to be just hovering off on the edge of the ult range, and can always be in his back pocket should he need it.
The scoreline's 2-8, but Gigabyte Marines are just 1 step ahead of Legacy every step of the way. 2,000 gold up, looking for a Cloud Dragon. Legacy going to try and push.
I mean, I actually think this is a horrible call to go for Cloud Dragon because they didn't base. And there is a potential that they continue to get cut off here.
No way
they might get aced, and Tally should have stuck there.
Let's see if they go for the fight. They are. No way getting good damage down. He takes down Lost, keep things off. Claire is nowhere close enough for this team fight, and 3 members of Legacy fall. Teleport's completed for Tally. What a disaster.
Absolute disaster has struck for Legacy right now. They should have been able to take mid and bottom top lane turret. Instead, they went for a fight. Optimus is so fed at this stage of the game and blows up everyone.
Goodness, Claire running the long way as well. Can't be in a team fight. They outnumbered them until that tactical mistake came in.
Yeah, and Gigabyte Marines just showing that they are cut above some of these teams here. You know, they're very rehearsed and they're quite calm under the pressure. Not necessarily having, a massive kill lead, as we pointed out.
And that's a fumble because you're giving up an air Drake. You've already got 2 yourself. And you had priority over mid lane, as well as, Tally in some trouble, as well as over top lane. Now they're both going to shove back.
Looking to try and take down this turret. No way looking for it. Uses the 90 caliber at the right time, dodging out, lost his ultimate. That turret is incredibly low. He doesn't stick around greedily for it. Legacy retreat, losing 1 inhibitor and almost mid lane inhibitor turret.
Just in time for Baron. They have that mid lane inhibitor turret. And they want another fight. Lost is in trouble.
He's forced to flash away early. No ultimate available. Archie jumping on in. Carbon going to get a good channeled ultimate. Optimus is low, but Cupcake already dead. Archie the next target. Lost falls. Finally, Tally joins the fight, but he gets knocked up straight away. Claire looking for something. Can't find the shockwave he needs. Knocked up, locked down by Sia. Gets eaten up by this tank code. Eventually, he will fall. Shut down, and that might just be game for the Marines.
It certainly will be. They've already prepared the super creeps. They're going to stream in bottom lane. 18 seconds on Cupcake, 20 seconds on Lost. That should only be Carbon defending. And whilst Nunu's annoying, I don't think he can do anything
here. The raid boss captain of Legacy has to try something. Sia is low. He's throwing out snowballs. He gets stunned up. Can't do anything. Eat it up. Ace picked up by Optimus. Gigabyte Marines, they're pushing it for it.
Cupcake can ult the turret here. They might actually get an opportunity.
Oh,
he missed
no. He missed the ultimate. He can't even save Legacy for a little bit longer. Gigabyte Marines, it looked like it was even, but they were always just 1 step ahead of Legacy. They take us to game number 5.
And what an intense day of League of Legends. I mean, the Gigabyte Marines just look so cool under pressure. And this is pressure. They are reverse sweeping a region at the moment. That cannot be understated. And the Direwolves threw away their game 1 against them. And now the pressure of all of Oceania hinges on that #1 seed.
But they will be hungry for it. They themselves sort of watched that game, and it was their loss, right? Maybe rather than the Gigabyte Marines win. And I think that Legacy, obviously 2nd seed going against #1 seed, obviously an uphill battle and definitely going to be tough for them. They played pretty well. I don't think that as Juve sort of mentioned, they weren't unassailable. There were definitely areas they could have exploited. But Marines definitely have their number.
And historically, Gigabyte Marines, they are a game day team. I mean, in the semifinals of GPL against Mineski, they dropped their series and they went 3-2 in their series, almost losing in game number 5. Grand finals against Ascension, easy 3-0. They were ready for that match. Same thing at MSI.
Yeah, it certainly was. And I mean, when you have a look at the Marines, they actually look like they're in the zone now. Like, you go into their player cameras and they're not, screaming at each other. They look very composed. They're sitting there and they're delivering. And I think that the pressure was actually on them that game. I mean, that game when they got the 2 picks, even though they took bottom lane, Legacy should have been streaming down 2 lanes. That air Drake was actually a bad tempo play. But the Marines just, you know, they see that they're getting chased. They don't panic. They turn around. They attack the 3 unit, and they come out with an absolutely massive advantage.
Yeah, the fluidity you can sort of see going through their movements, I guess, as a team and you know, moving around the map, even into what was potentially a bad tempo trade, they still turned around. We were quite clean. And, you know, they obviously trust each other a lot, and their synergy was just shining through.
And Legacy there, I mean, it looked good for them. They fumbled the ball at the end, but what information, again, have they given to the Direwolves in the final match?
The problem is if you're the Direwolves, you don't play the game anything like Legacy. So apart from they're human, they're going to make slight macro mistakes. They're going to take, you know, bad tempo plays, and Levi is going to get probably annoyed by a no-no. There's not really many similarities that you can take out of the game, apart from maybe Tally took it to Archie, is what I will say. So maybe get Chippies on a threat and see if you can take it that way.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think Tally showed that, you know, Archie, as we've been commenting, is a pretty smart player, and he seems to read things quite well. But in a disadvantageous matchup, definitely not looking like Crash Hot.
Well, that was game number 4 of the King of the Rift format. We're going into a very quick break, but we'll be back shortly to find out if Direwolves can get revenge after the group stage against Gigabyte Marines, or if Gigabyte Marines are going to crush the dreams of Oceania and pick up a reverse sweep. We'll be back in just a bit. Yeah, they're trying to lock down the Tom Kench. They pick up first blood in the mid lane for Claire. That opens up an attack mid. Let's see if they go for the fight. They are nowhere getting good damage down. He takes down Lost, keep things off. Claire is nowhere close enough for this team fight, and 3 members of Legacy fall. Teleports completed for Tally. What a disaster.
Another fight.
Lost is
in trouble.
He's forced to flash away early. No ultimate available. Archie jumping on in. Carbon gonna get a good channeled ultimate. Ultimates is low, but Cupcake already dead. Archie the next target. Lost falls. Finally, Tally joins the fight, but he gets knocked up straight away. Claire looking for something, can't find the shockwave he needs. Knocked up, locked down by Sia, gets eaten up by this tank code. Eventually, he will fall, shut down, and that might just be game for the Marines. Oh, the raid boss, captain of Legacy, has to try something. Sia is low, he's throwing out snowballs. He gets stunned up, can't do anything. Eat it up, ace picked up by Optimus. Gigabyte Marines, they're pushing it for it.
Cupcake out the turret here. They might actually get an opportunity. Oh, he missed
no,
it.
he missed the ultimate. He can't even save Legacy for a little bit longer. Gigabyte Marines, it looked like it was even, but they were always just one step ahead of Legacy. They take us to game number 5.